Boy, it's a picture-perfect afternoon here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The roof is open, and it is time for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Prescott down.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He stiff arms it, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Yeah, here we go.
Play fake. Here's Prescott.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41.
First and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker the third.
A hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Here's Prescott. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Man, and he hits him in stride. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed.
Return there after a punt of 47. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Seattle.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 1st downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Walker now at 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now 2nd and 9.
We go set. Set.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Go set. Set.
And they'll run on 3rd down with Charbonnet.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 33-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got an open man, it's Pickens.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Prescott.
Finding Pickens for another catch.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
At the 48-yard line.
They go with Blue between the tackles. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Yeah, here we go.
1st down, and they go right back to Blue.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
It's a gain of 20.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, it's Blue.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Tackled that time by Derek Hall. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Darnold. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Darnold.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Darnold now to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys 14. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
3rd and inches.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Kenneth Walker.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Cowboys 3.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Relative to the points per drive ratio, that answer is nothing. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down
A
and
misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Yeah! Here we think.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
What are you doing? Oh, man, I can't believe this.
2nd and 10.
Prescott. Trying to set up a screen for Blue. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Yeah! What do you think?
Now a handoff to Blue running left side. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run again with Blue. And able to work his way down to the 16. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing. Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with a 17-3 cushion already, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
It's a gain of 25 yards. 1st down, Seahawks.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Smith and Jigba in motion right. Now Darnold. Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
A final shot before the break, Darnold. That is caught. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Brandon Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Here we go, set.
Here's Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 24. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Yeah, here we go. Wide.
Prescott now. Pickens on the slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of
This
18.
drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Yeah!
Here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Yeah! Here we go. Wide.
Prescott to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
26.
And again, it's Prescott. And Prescott, his third interception.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Straight ahead, Walker.
And he gets stopped up at the 41 after a gain of maybe a yard.
He's brought down at the
They
31.
suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 23.
58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk at the 20. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
A pitch comes to Walker.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down.
Derek Hall in there that time to get into the turf.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Their own 45-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Smith and Jigba with the grab.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Tourney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They'll try for the first with Walker. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And that time, the tackle by Malik Hooker.
No gain on the play.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go, side.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Cowboys' 15-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 12.
On the handoff, this is Walker. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here we go, side.
Here's the give to McIntosh.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Here we go.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. I take one.
Prescott from the gun on third. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's a quick throw by Dak, complete out wide. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
The 36-yard line.
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10.
Up the middle, it's Williams. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's Prescott. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And it's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Prescott to throw on 4th.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Williams is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And the lead now down to 20.
Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
On the give here, Charbonnet. And a result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
We go sack.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he will have it 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I've got an idea. Let's get racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Hand off here to Walker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards the pickup. 1st down.
We go sack.
1st down. A 4-yard pickup on the play. 1st down, Seattle.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. So it's a win for the Seahawks here, and it was Sam Darnold, CD, who really led the